Next, let's queer up entertainment. Madonna, Brokeback Mountain, and more become queer, official part of American film history. What do the original Material Girl, the Brokeback Mountain director, and the famed songstress have in common? Their art is heading to Washington, D.C. The Library of Congress announced 25 influential movies that will join the National Film Registry, an archive dedicated to preserving titles deemed to be of cultural, historical, or aesthetic importance to preserve the nation's film heritage. Every year since 1988, the organization selects 25 new films for historic preservation. And this year's crop includes everything from animated Disney classic Lady and the Tramp to searing history epic 12 Years a Slave to two seasonally appropriate family favorites, Home Alone and The Nightmare Before Christmas. Most exciting for us is the inclusion of 3 LGBTQ+ classics. That is 1980's generation-defining musical Fame, Madonna's 1985's Desperately Seeking Susan, and 1993's Asian-American rom-com, The Wedding Banquet. They'll be joining other queer cinema classics like LGBTQ+ Western Red River, landmark ballroom documentary Paris is Burning, and John Waters' subversive throwback Hairspray. In other words, the registry just keeps getting gayer and gayer. I mean, I have to say, like among the things I'm most excited about too, I'm happy that there's more LGBTQ inclusion right in these spaces, which we're seeing more and more of. But actually, I was looking at the list just before this, the list is really inclusive in terms of films that spoke to immigrant movements, to people of color. Terminator 2's on there, I should note. 20 Feet from Stardom, that documentary about backup singers that was fairly recent, the last 10 years, 15 years, that's on there. If you've never seen that film, it's so good. I was really surprised by the kind of diversity of the selections here. It's really...
I'm excited that Brokeback Mountain is in the mix. I mean, that movie really changed everything for me. It really did.
Yeah, how so?
It was the first time that I saw that, love story, being portrayed in American cinema the way they did. Even though it didn't win the Oscar, I can't believe that Crash won that year. Yeah, it should have won the Oscar. But yeah, that movie just... Well, it was that, and before that was Torchstone Trilogy, which I hope that one day they also, that movie, in fact, that movie took me out of the closet.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So.
Bob?
I'm choking right now at the moment. No. Okay. Excuse me. I like that they're including queer films because it's really important. First off, visibility is important, but, so much of our history has been covered up, erased, in some cases burned at the stake. So, and I would like to see Torch Song Trilogy included in this, although I'm still kind of traumatized by Torch Song Trilogy, that one gay bashing scene.
It's hard.
God bless Rob Ladislaw, who was dating me at the time, who just let me cry on his shoulder. But, I hope that somehow there's a backup copy somewhere, because if, God forbid, these people come into power, they're going to burn those.
Yeah. I mean, I have nothing to say. I love...
Wait, well, that's a first.
Yeah, I know, wow. Is anybody surprised that Desperately Seeking Susan
I am.
I have a little bit
is on the list? I mean,
it's not my favorite film.
Not either. Not
right.
mine either. I mean, it's Madonna. Maybe that's why.
That's why Madonna.
That's why, because Madonna is in it.
Though it did kind of. It's almost like a snapshot of a moment. Like it feels very kind of like.
I just can't believe that's
it's very
got in first over Torchstone Trilogy.
I know.
I just can't.
Well, and there'll be 25 more next year, and what was
the name of that one where Harry Hamlin kisses the guy for the first time in American cinema? What was the name of that movie? And Kate. Kate, the Charlie's Angels was also there.
Jackson.
Kate Jackson.
That was a TV movie, I believe.
Right. That movie was also like one of those that changed the culture. For the first time, two guys kiss.
Right. I remember when Brokeback Mountain came out in theaters. Of course, it wasn't long ago, right? And for me, it was a pivotal moment. Like that is to see that coming out in that space and like being there and being like, it was like the first time really you kind of, but also it still fell in that trope of like the end, without ruining any spoiler alerts or anything.
Okay, well, it's been 15 years.
right.
Okay, no spoilers.
But that is
no
like,
spoilers.
That
but
scene.
it did goes to that trope too, which I feel like today we now have so much representation that it feels like we're so fortunate because for a long time it really was like you had 3 options for like in a span of 10 years and like
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like Priscilla, it was
Right.
Tu Wong Fu,
The Birdcage.
and the
That's what
Birdcage.
they like.
That was what we had, and those were 3 strong films
Yeah.
that
were.
still
And you just
still
named
hold
the
up
3,
today, yeah.
but you named the 3 films that doesn't include the old tropes of,
Right.
gay bashing,
Right.
noble suffering AIDS patients,
Right.
or, friends and family of noble suffering
Right.
AIDS patients. And that was dominating the cinematic narrative of LGBTQ plus people for a long time. And
Yeah.
and now we can see finally something that in not in Brokeback Mountain, but
Layered
in other,
character.
more layered characters that being gay is just part of the character, not the defining feature of the character.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're coming up on the holiday season. We've got that week between Christmas and New Year. Check out this list. Rent some, stream some on your television. Watch, enjoy, learn, and appreciate our culture.